Hey everyone, and welcome to my craft room. Just bear with me, I'm a little bit crooked there. Anyway, just fix that. Probably crooked the other way now. Hi, welcome to my craft room, and thanks for joining me live or in replay, whichever way I see you. I got such a great reaction when I posted a picture of this these little adhesive caddies this morning on my Facebook page. I thought I would do a little video. So bear with me while I just get my iPad where it should be. Make sure the sound is okay. Is the sound okay? Hang on. See whether can anyone hear me? Can you let on write a notes whether you can hear me? I don't know whether my sound is working. Bear with me for a second, apologies for this. Been having trouble with my sound lately. We'll see what the problem is, whether it's working. Anyway, so I will plough ahead and assume that my sound is working until somebody tells me otherwise. Okay, so as I say, these cute little adhesive caddies I popped on my Facebook page today, and they're really handy. I've done 3 here. Oh, thanks Hannah, I was worried there. Anyway, so yeah, so the cute little, they are perfect. Look at this, what we've got in here. We've got our wonderful Tombow. I've got my tape runner, but it would also be perfect for a roll of glue dots if you had those instead. I tend to like to leave my glue dots in the box, so I don't know that I would ever do that. But it's definitely good for a tape runner. Some tear and tape, some dimensionals, all fit in there just perfectly, just like they were made for it. Well, actually they were, and I store my glue upside down so it doesn't run out on me. So anyway, so these are really cute and really simple. So you'll see very soon when I make another one. And the great thing about them is, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when you make a card, when you're using 6x6 cardstock designer series paper, you always have this 2-inch strip left over, and it's perfect for decorating this little box. So if you get your 2-inch strips and pop them away somewhere saying I'm going to use that on something, this is a perfect opportunity to bring them out and use them. Anyway, so I will go on with another one. I'm going to put the measurements and the scoring measurements instructions in the comments after I finish the video. So just don't worry if you miss the numbers. I will put them all in the comments, as I said, once I'm finished. Okay, so let's get started. Now, talking about having a strip of a 2-inch strip of designer series paper left over. That's what I found. I was looking in my box of goodies, and I found a 2-inch strip of the beautiful Good Morning Magnolia designer series paper, and that's what I'm going to use for this one. So basically you are cutting designer series paper to fit the outward edges of your little caddy. So what I might do is I'll put those aside for the moment, but you can see there none of them are wider than 2 inches, so you basically get to use some of that wasted paper. You'll need 1 A4 sheet of cardstock, and here I've got petal pink. So you need 1 A4 sheet plus a tiny bit extra. So if you also accumulate lots of scraps of cardstock, this is also a great way to use that as well. So your A4 sheet, you cut it at 6 inches. So it's 8 1/4 inches wide and 6 inches high. You score it from 1 inch on the shorter side, 1 inch from each end. So you've got that there, and then you score it at 4 1/4 and 5 1/4. So as I say, don't worry about the numbers. I'm going to pop those into the comments for you, so you get that sort of thing. So we're really just making an open-ended box. So grab your scissors, and where you've got the two close together ones there, just cut into the middle, or not into the middle, into the 1 inch score. So there, just to create a little tag. And there. Hey everyone who's come on. I've seen Judy, I've seen Hannah, of course, thank you Hannah, and Jenny. Thanks everyone. A couple extras there that I seen just pop on. Okay, so you've got that little configuration there. So what you need to do then is just form a box. Pretty simple. So you're going to form a box just like that. So it's sort of shorter at the front and taller at the back, just for display purposes. And really, that's about it. So what I'm going to do is grab some glue, some Tombow. Judy says she can't hear. Is anyone else? Hannah's already said she can hear. Is Judy not hearing? Can somebody just mention, just has the sound dropped out? Sometimes I wonder whether the sound is there or not. So I'll just wait for somebody to confirm that they can hear before I go any further. Okay, Hannah can hear me. What about who else is on? Jenny, can you hear me? Well, Jenny's already said yes. I wonder what's happening here. Okay, I'm going to assume that it might be something with Judy's set up. Anyway, oh, that's gone out of focus now. Okay, alright, so basically you're just going to put your glue on the inside of this tab here and this tab here, and fold the little tabs, middle tabs up, those in, that one in behind, and push that fall back. So there you go. So you've got just a little open-ended box there, three-sided box. Just hold it down till the glue takes. You could always use double-sided tape if you wanted to, snail adhesive, but I like the glue in the fact that you've got a bit of movement in it. Hey Sharon, thanks for joining me. Sharon's my dear friend all the way from New Zealand. Okay, so we've got our first one there. Now, you could as well, and I've done it with all of the ones I've done, is cut off that tab there into a triangle shape. And I think it just makes it a bit neater. So it depends how comfortable you are with your cutting. You can probably do it by hand, or you can mark it and do it with your trimmer or cutter. I'll just, for this sake, I'll do it by hand. So you end up with a little triangle sort of edge there. Cool, so that's our first one. Okay, so what I think is probably best to do now, sorry I'm getting distracted by whether people can hear or not. What I think now is best to do is bring in your little pieces of paper and actually decorate the surfaces of this box. I tried to do a couple of them before where I put it together first and then decorated it, and it was just a bit difficult to get your fingers in so you could make, you'd hold it until the glue set. When I first cut this paper I was going to use that side, but actually when I turn it over I think I might actually use the black side instead. I think that's quite striking. So this one here, because this isn't a 1 inch depth box, this is a 7/8 inch wide piece of paper, just so that you've got a little bit of an edge, and I think it's 3 inches high, the box, so it's 2 7/8 inch. But as I say, I'll put all the measurements in the comments. So I'm just going to add the glue. This glue's been paying up on me, this one. It either comes out not at all or in a rush. I'll be quite glad when it's finished. We'll just pop that on there. So the only real surfaces of this particular box that are going to show on the outside are the two sides and the back, I suppose, but probably don't need to decorate the back. You can if you want, but I haven't here. Yes, Sharon, you did. Sharon saying she finally got to catch me live. Yes, I suppose the time difference sometimes makes it difficult. I'm going to be in New Zealand again in a couple of weeks, doing a cruise with my parents. It's probably not what I would have chosen, but it's more about us having time with them than the actual destination. I do love New Zealand and I go there often, but I tend to like to go and take my time in places. But this one's basically into port in the morning and out of port at the night, so not very much time in each place, but I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. Okay, so we've got two pieces of paper on either side there, and we'll just pop this one aside now. Okay, the next one is this uses the other part of your A4 sheet of designer series paper. It's actually 6 inches long and 5 inches wide, and again on the shorter edge I've scored 1 inch in from both sides, and this time it's scored at 3 inches and 4 inches. So this one forms the little box at the front that you can put your snail adhesive or your glue dots in. So it's a smaller box. So again, just cut those little this little tag in there to the side, and we're going to do the same thing. Just turn it all up and glue it in place. Again, bring it up, and we're going to glue these side tabs. A bit of glue here. Oh, I really cannot wait for you to run out glue. You're a pain. Bit of glue there. Just hold that down for a second. And a little bit there on the other side. And just hold this one down again. And again, I'm just going to grab my scissors and cut a little bit of a triangle in this top there. Just straight from there down to the corner, and the same thing here. Matter of getting the right angle. There we go. Okay, so this is the one that's going to sit at the front. So if you think of it like that, so this one's going to have a panel of designer series paper on the front and on this left hand side. So I've got that one cut here. So we've got the larger one that fits just into that front panel. So I'll just glue that in. There we go. Just wiggle that into place. Beautiful, wonderful glue. Very forgiving. There we go. And we're going to put one on this left hand side here as well. Just there like that. So I'm actually making these for a class I've got tomorrow. I've got some people coming for a make and take to introduce the new catalogue tomorrow afternoon, and I thought usually it's a scurry for everyone to find the glue and find the adhesives and find this and find that. So I thought if I set one of these up in front of every single person, they can have their own glue and their own dimensionals and everything, and it'll be there nice and accessible for them if they remember to put them away when they're finished using them. But anyway, we'll see. Okay, so that's the left hand side one done. The last one is for our wonderful Tombow. So it's obviously a skinnier or a slimmer sort of box. And here, this is where you need a little scrap of your cardstock. This one is 6 inches high again, and 3 1/4 wide. So 6 by 3 1/4. Again, we've gone 1 inch in from each edge there, and again it's scored at 3 and 4 inches. So it's fundamentally the same as the second one we did, except it's a little bit narrower. So again, I'm cutting my tags. And I will do the same again with the glue. So bring that up, tucking that there, and we'll glue here. A little bit there, just hold it for a second. And same on the other side. I actually had a new lady join my team today, so I'm a bit excited. She popped by and I helped her pop her starter kit into the computer. It was really, really great. So another member of my little team. She's actually a previous demo who's rejoining with the great new celebration order specials. So if you're not a demonstrator or don't have a demonstrator at the moment and you're interested in joining Stampin' Up, I can tell you the celebration specials or special offer is just one of the best ones I've seen for a couple of years, and it really makes it worthwhile joining. Even just as a hobby, you don't have to do videos, you don't have to do classes. Just if your hobby is card making, it's a great offer. Yeah, thanks, Sharon. Yeah, it was quite rapt. We are very lucky in this that we meet people and they become friends. So Vicky, if Vicky's watching, I do count her. She was one of my original ladies, and I count her as a dear friend. So it's nice to have her back as a demonstrator. Okay, so this one's going to pop on the side here like this. So I'm going to pop my smaller piece of designer series paper just on the edge here. I have to give credit where credit's due. I did actually case this little caddy from a demonstrator on Pinterest called Joyce Whitman. I believe she's American, and she made the original one that I could find. I'm sure there's others because it's such a great design. Okay, so we've got one there, and we'll put this other one here. Hey Mel, I saw you pop on. I wasn't quite sure whether you'd stay. How are you, my friend? Long time I haven't spoken to you at work. Obviously I haven't needed to, which is probably a good thing given what I do at work and given what you do at work. Okay, so we've got that one as well. So that one's slightly wider. That's really great. Okay, so we've got our 4 little boxes, and you can see how, or 3 little boxes, and you can see how they're going to all fit together there. So now we just have to glue them together. So I'm going to grab some glue, and on the right hand side of this one going to the left hand side of that one, just pop some glue just on there. Oh, you're on, oh, okay, I didn't realise. Congratulations. That's why I haven't talked to you at work very much. You're busy with other things. Okay, so I'm just holding those two together for a little while, and then what I might do, I've got a couple of paper clips here. I'm just going to pop a paper clip on there just to hold them in position while I'm mucking around with the rest. Just holds it in position and doesn't let it move. And then all I'm going to do is pop some glue on the back of here. Hello May, thanks for joining me. A bit of glue on the back of that one, a bit of glue on the back of that one, and then we'll put that onto the front of there. Okay, so we'll just make it as central as we can and as flat on the bottom, so actually put it on the ground and force it flat. And again, I'm going to hold them together till they dry with a couple of paper clips, just so I don't have to sit here all day and hold it. Okay, so there is pretty much our box. It's really sweet. I like that. Just make sure it all holds together with the glue. The only thing left to do now is to pop some sort of little sentiment or something on the front. And the other ones I've done, I've just used a sort of fairly general sentiment from the bundle that I've used for the paper. This one is the Timeless Tropical, and I've used Our Friendship is Timeless. And this one I've used the It's All About the Art, which seemed very appropriate, and that one says do something creative every day. It doesn't seem to be focusing very well, apologies there guys. And this one here, which was got the Honeybee Designer Series paper, says celebrate every moment. So all good things to remember when you're crafting. I'll just see if I can get that to focus a little bit better. It's just having some trouble. Apologies for that. Just let it see if it goes in. Anyway, all good. So what I thought with this one, I would grab another little tiny piece of the Petal Pink, and I've cut that out with the layered circles. So I've got a piece of Petal Pink with the scalloped circle there, and I've used the Good Morning Magnolia stamp set to just put a little magnolia and enjoy today on that as well. So if somebody's at one of my classes, hopefully they will enjoy themselves. So I'll just pop that on there and onto the scalloped circle, and then everything else on there. Just a bit of glue and straight onto the front of our box. So you could put it in the middle of there. That's what Joyce actually did. I think I actually prefer it there, so it's in the middle of the whole side. It's really up to you. That's just my requirements of things being central, but whatever you feel comfortable with, put it whichever position you like. Cool, and that one's done. So there we go. I don't leave those in for a little while until that actually cures properly. And again, we have room for our dimensionals and our tear and tape and our snail adhesive, and if I can find my glue lid, and our wonderful Tombow. So there we go. So that's a quick and easy caddy for your craft table or as a gift. I think it would be wonderful for a new demonstrator or somebody you know who's crafty. You just buy these components, pop it in there, and they've got an instant package, so to speak. So obviously all these adhesives are available online if you'd like to shop with me, and as I say, I'll put the measurements for the caddy into the comments as soon as I finish the video. Anyway, so sorry about that. There was a couple of issues there with my focus and some sound issues, but we've got there in the end. So make a few of these, let me see what you come up with. I'd love to see what other people come up with. And yeah, so thanks for joining me, and I will see you all later. Thank you.